this corner, and then the black king captured it. And so it doesn't take much to figure out that the only possibility which could allow this to happen is this. So basically the white king, the white knight was here and was blocking this diagonal, and then white played this move, then allowed the black king to capture. And the retrograde analysis goes into negative notation, as you see. I mean, typically in chess notation we have increasing order of move numbers, but here you will see it's actually decreasing. So this is the -1th move which was played. Okay, so I hope this gives you some idea of the kind of puzzles you're going to look at. So the next puzzle. Now this is actually an introduction to a harder puzzle which we are going to do later, but just to give an idea. So in this position, both sides have made exactly 3 moves. So what are the moves? Okay, so I mean, this is again a simple puzzle because it's not very hard to account for what are those moves. If you see here, clearly the white has made at least 3 visible moves. One is that the pawn has moved, the bishop moved out, and then it got captured. So and in the process the bishop also captured one black pawn. So those 3 moves are pretty clear here, that either the pawn moves, the bishop moves, and bishop captures the pawn in some order. And the black moves are also pretty clear, that there are 2 pawn moves, and then because the white bishop is captured, that is the third move. So in fact there are 2 possible ways in which this could have been played out. One is either the c pawn move for the black, and then the e pawn, or the other way around. So there are multiple orders in which this position could have arrived, and we can check that both of them lead to the same final position. So this is like a simple problem, and the thing is there is not a unique solution for this. So generally we like to have a problem which has a unique solution, just for the nicety. So we will come back to this puzzle and fix that problem soon. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Then going to the next puzzle. So here all the pieces are given in white, but they are not all white. Some of them are going to be black. So your job is to figure out which of those pieces are actually white and black, and then figure out what was the last move of the game. So I'll give you another minute for this. And I hope that you are able to open these game positions from the link which I have shared below or before in the chat. Okay, so I mean lots of things are happening in this position, but one thing which catches our attention immediately is that these two kings obviously have to be opposite in color, and both the rook and the queen are attacking both. So clearly that can't be the case. I mean, if it were the case that this rook and queen are of opposite color, it means that both the kings are in check, which cannot happen. So clearly both this rook on d8 and this queen have to be of the same color. So if they are of the same color, it means that they are both giving a check to the opposite color king. So which means that it's a double check situation. Now, if it were possible that these two pieces are giving the double check to the king on d6, then you can think through this position and realize that there is no way in which this double check could have been given, because if it's a double check, it means that it's a discovered check, that one piece was blocking the path of the other piece and it moved away. But how could this queen be here and block this? So I mean, this queen would already give check to this king, so there is no way in which these two pieces could give a check to the king in d6. So the only possibility is that the double check is given to this king. but that doesn't seem to solve the problem, because then how did this rook move out of this line and give a check like that? So there is something happening here which is allowing this to happen, and it's not hard to see that because we are at the last rank of the board. It looks like a pawn promotion situation. So the previous move would have been something like this, that the pawn was here and this is in fact the black king, and then the pawn captured something here. We don't know what it captured, but in capturing it gave the check to the black king. That is the only way this situation could arise. So we can deduce that at least this king is black. And now if that is the case, then this pawn on b7, if it's white, then it is already giving a check to the black king, which is not possible. So therefore this pawn also has to be black. And so this is how that position is after the move was done. But that doesn't solve the problem completely, because if you look at this corner, the a8 corner, the white bishop is there, or there is some bishop, we don't know white or black. So if this black pawn has never moved from its position, how can this bishop get there? So if you think about it, if the black pawn has never moved, it means that this cannot be the black bishop, because then the black bishop could not have possibly moved here. But it can be the white bishop through promotion. So what happened is that the white pawn was on this file and it got promoted, and again for some crazy reason, generally we promote to a queen or very rarely to a knight. Nobody promotes to a bishop, but I mean logically it is possible that somebody promoted this to a bishop, and after they promoted the bishop, this white pawn came again on this file, maybe captured and moved from another file and sealed this position. So in fact this is the complete game position, and so the previous move was actually a capture. So the pawn here captured something here, and it's not hard to see that the only piece that could be here which will not give a check to this white king is a knight. So this is in fact the game position before the game this position was arrived. So that is the solution for this. And again notice the negative notation here. Okay, then moving on to the last easy puzzle before I go on to the relatively hard, or I would say intermediate ones. I'm not going to discuss the harder ones in detail here, simply because it would mean that I have to spoil the solution. So I've just given the harder puzzles at the end of my talk, and you are free to check them out in detail on your own time. But look at this position. So black to play, indicate one move which both sides must have played. Okay, so just to give you a hint of how to start thinking about a problem like this. So we understand that in chess there is a lot of parity involved, that is odd and even comes into play pretty often. Like for example, we know that knights alternate between dark and light squares, or bishops can only be on one colored square, etc. So somehow we have to make use of parity in this situation. So if we are being told that black is to play, which means that white has played the last move, which means that white has played one move more than the black. Now if you look at the black lineup, it looks like it's exactly like the starting position. So if the pawns have not moved, the only pieces which can move, it's not hard to see, are the knights. The knights can come out and they will make one space for the rooks to toggle back and forth. So the only pieces which can move are the knights and the rooks, and they both preserve parity if they are coming back to their starting position in this way. So it means that the black side has played a total of even number of moves, which means that the white side has played an odd number of moves. And if you look at the white side, again the white the rook and the white two knights are back at their original position. So how could white have possibly played an odd number of moves? So if the white rook on h1 toggled to g1 and back to h1, then it has again completed an even cycle. So the only way is that white rook moved from h1 to g1 and could not move back. and the only reason it could not move back because it was captured on the square G1. So this position must have necessarily occurred. Now this I've shown some things here which are not necessarily unambiguous, like this white knight could be anywhere in the game board, but the point is that the white knight had moved away from its position and made space for the white rook, and then the black knight came and captured this. So this move necessarily happened, that black capturing on the G1 square. Okay, so this shows one example where how parity comes into play and can be quite helpful in solving some puzzles, the intermediate or harder puzzles. Okay, so if this example is also clear, we are going to go to slightly harder puzzles, and I also give you a little bit more time to think, maybe 5 minutes if possible. And again, the basic rules are going to be the same. So Sherlock Holmes rule is the sort of rule 0, that eliminate the impossibility and whatever remains has to be the truth. And then a few other patterns you will notice, such as pieces which block each other, which prevent a certain order of moves. Or you just keep in mind some special moves such as castling, pawn promotion, en passant, and some what you can almost call theorems of chess, that based on the rules of chess you can deduce some possibilities, that if a pawn has never moved, it's still on its original square, then the pawn was never touched during the game. And any double check is a discovered check. So if there is a double check, then you will look for which piece was blocking the path, etc. And finally, some ideas such as parity or colorings, or in some cases even graph theory, which is particularly useful for knights moves. So you may be aware of knight's tour of the chessboard, which traverses all the 64 squares of the chessboard with the knight. But the most simple principle is simply counting. So if you just count the number of moves played by each side, that should give you the biggest hint. Okay, with that, let's go for a slightly harder puzzle. It's like an intermediate puzzle. And by the way, all these puzzles are taken from well-known sources. So maybe you already seen this before, but at least for those who are new to this genre, I think you should at least spend few minutes on this puzzle. So in this case, the white king is there on the board, obviously, because it's a real chess game, but we have hidden the position of the white king. So you have to decode where the white king could possibly be. Okay, so think for a couple of minutes. Okay, so anybody has any ideas? So the difficulty here seems to be that where could the white king be? Clearly, if the white king is not on this file, firstly, it cannot be anywhere in the vicinity of the black king. So the only square left, if white is giving a check to this black king, is this point. But then the difficulty is that if the white king is here, then in the previous move, black is giving this double check. And maybe after this, maybe white king moved to one side, somewhere like this. So that is possible. But then the question is, how did this situation arise? How can black give this double check? The bishop cannot fly like a knight. So we cannot go from this position to this position. So if this double check was given, how can black possibly give it? And realize that there is no other possibility. The white knight king cannot be in any other position, because then the question is, how did white give this check at all? Because this bishop is restricted to this file. So then necessarily the only case is that white was here and he moved away. Okay, so the idea here is pretty similar to the first puzzle in that there was a piece, there were several pieces on the board, but they are gone now because somebody captured them, and those missing pieces are going to provide the hint of what happened. So clearly, if black gave this double check, it's a discovered check. So there were some piece blocking the path of the rook and possibly of this bishop also. So there were some pieces here on the board which are which have gone now. So if you look at this, this is the fourth rank, and there is something special about the fourth rank which is called the n% capture. So are you aware of this rule? So if the white pawn is here, sorry, it has to be a black. So if this is the game position and white just played this move, c2 to c4, then black can perform this n% capture. And then this is a double check for white, and white resolve the situation by capturing over here. So the white king is here now. And so if you rewind the game position again, it was like this. So the first move is that black bishop came here from somewhere, we don't know where. So first move is that black bishop came here, then white blocked the check from black. Then black gave a double check with this n% capture, and finally white recaptured here, and that is how this position arrived. Okay, so if you're able to figure that out in a couple of minutes, that's pretty good. But if not, at least keep these points in mind, that the n% is a common trick used by logic puzzle like this, and most important trick is simply hiding the attacker or hiding the defender. Okay, so these are the last 3 or 2.5 moves that got unplayed. Okay, and so then this is the next puzzle. So this is, we are revisiting the basic puzzle again, where we had each side making 3 moves, and there we saw that in fact that is not leading to a unique solution. So the original puzzle is like this. In fact, each side is making 4 moves, and you need to figure out what are the moves. And this is a tricky puzzle if you have not seen before, so I would definitely give at least 3-4 minutes for you to think before I move on to the discussion. So yeah, give it a try. How did each side make 4 moves and reach this position? And I mean, there is no point rushing through these puzzles and spoiling the fun, so might as well give it some time. So you realize if you're trying this puzzle out, there is something odd about it. It's simply not working out, right? I mean, maybe you think that because now we have to account for 4 moves instead of 3. So it seems like we have one extra move to waste. I mean, what white could do is, instead of playing this double move, it could do move 1, move 2. The white bishop goes somewhere and then captures this pawn. So those could be the 4 moves by white. But then how do we account for black's moves? So maybe black, I mean, if you just try to play a game, you may think of doing something like this, that okay, maybe this was done first, then this was done first, then white moved this, and then black has to play something, right? Or maybe white first captured and then white. Now what? The black has to play something. There is no fourth move for black. It seems that black is running out of moves. So there's something very weird happening. Any idea what's happening? So if we start to reason about this situation, we realize a few facts. So one thing is clear: white has three clear moves. One is the pawn advance. Then the bishop has to move out somewhere because bishop can't be captured on this square at such a starting position. And then white is clearly capturing the black pawn. And then for black, at least three moves are clear, that two pawns have clearly moved, and at some point the black captured the white bishop. That fourth move is a bit elusive, that how did that fourth move occur. But if you just focus on where the black pawn was captured, so clearly white bishop has captured the black pawn, so one of the white squares is where that capture happened. But if you see either c6 or e6, you'll realize that the parity of the moves does not match, because basically the black has only clearly black did not move any other pawns. So if these are the only three pawns to be moved, then capturing on c6 or e6 will throw the black parity out of number of moves out of balance. So the only possibility left is that white bishop captured on the d7 square. So something like this probably happened, that white played this move, black played this move, then white played this move. Still there's a problem. Now white is going to capture here, okay, but until that capture happens, this black pawn cannot move ahead. So what should black play which will not prevent the white bishop from capturing this pawn? And then that's not the only difficulty. The difficulty is further, white bishop has also disappeared. So somebody captured the white bishop, and if the capture happened on this square, it cannot be captured by black pawn. No black pawn can reach her. So some other black piece captured this bishop, and then that piece went back to its original square because the starting lineup was restored. So some black piece moved out of its position and back into its own original position. So what can have possibly happened? So it turns out that this is the order of moves. So first e4, then e6, then bishop move to b5, and bishop is going to capture on the white square, and the black king is going to capture it back. Okay, so if I play it on the actual board, this is what happened. Now white captures here, and now the problem is still there. If black captures immediately, then black would require two additional moves to move the black pawn here and then to restore its piece back to original position. So the only way that could have happened is black played this first and white played this and allowed the black king to capture as well as return to its position in one single move. So now we have completed exactly 4 moves for both sides. So this is pretty ingenious, that it's hiding several small facts by construction of the logic of the puzzle, and this is the only possible solution. You can work out that there are no other possibilities. So that's another interesting thing about most of these puzzles, that they have a unique possible way of playing out. Okay, so so this was the last puzzle which I wanted to do in detail. Now I'm just going to skim through a few puzzles which are of intermediate or harder difficulty, and the links to all of them are given in my slides and also on that page I've shared, so you can give them a try. But the principles are same as what we mentioned before. So starting with something simple relatively. So again, here both sides have played 3 moves. Not hard to see that something like n% could be involved here, but again I'm not going to reveal the details. It's pretty interesting to see. Then not again, both sides have played 4 moves, which is again looks reasonable, but if you think of the parity, something goes wrong again in this position. That how did the black knight disappear and the white knight disappear? So something is crazy here. Then a little bit more crazy. Okay, the black pawn in 8 moves suddenly reached the end square, and again important to emphasize all of them are unique solutions, but there is only one possible sequence of moves which could have reached here. And then this is something even weird. In 9 moves, white has managed to promote their queen, and that too in a very weird square. Again, uniquely possible. And so this is the last puzzle which I have actually solved. So up to this point, I can guarantee you that these are all doable puzzles in the span of 10 or 15 minutes. So I'll encourage you to give them a try up to this point. But now we are going to enter a bit crazy domain. So as you can imagine, what's going to happen now? Again, 20 unique moves which can be exactly unplayed right from up to the start of the game board. And it doesn't stop there. 27 moves which are perfectly unique and retraceable just by pure logic. And why should we stop here, right? So what is happening here? The first position on the left side, how did the black king reach there? That in itself is very hard to decode, but even crazy is the problem statement. You can figure out what is the first move by the black king, and on the right side you can figure out what are the last 96 moves of this game. And so that's pretty much my last slide. I have a few other examples of crazy what are called proof games. So we have to figure out a game which will reach this position, and there are a few links for further reading where you can find out more information about. If you're interested in this genre of puzzles, you can visit these and get in touch with the community, which was active until one point. I don't know if it's still active or not, but yeah, I mean, this is a very rich genre. And I mean, if I had time, I was going to go through a few more construction puzzles also, but I mean, that you can check out offline. So I think that's all from me. Thank you. Anything you want to ask about these puzzles or any comments, please feel free.